What occurs when an almost unheard of creator suddenly achieves fame, connections, and an audience in a niche they're completely new to? Do they get pegged as an industry plant? Well, you kind of give off that plant vibe since we have the same manager, right? Isn't that wild? Definitely has that plant energy. You made it here in no time. It took me 2 decades. Hey, it has been quite a while since abandoning their family and pushing away fans in their quest for more success. You skipped your daughter's first birthday to be here? That's some heavy regret, something you can never change. Talk about terrible parenting. Or they ruin their reputation entirely, losing 80% of their audience. Sadly, for Bobbi Althoff, she faced all 3 of these outcomes as she shifted from mummy TikToker to podcast star, plunging into a whole new realm of demands she wasn't ready for. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist, and I produce weekly YouTube documentaries. Today, we're diving into the dizzying rise and fall of podcasting's supposed industry plant, Bobbi Althoff. We'll explore how she soared to the top of the podcasting scene and what she did to turn her fanbase against her, plus why, despite her success, her career is slowly drifting towards obscurity. Before hosting a podcast, Bobbi garnered attention on social media, crafting humorous family and parenting videos with her husband on TikTok. Honestly, nothing's more mortifying than strolling around with one of those. Everyone is fully aware of how she got here: your neighbor, your mailman, even your dad, your grandpa, your uncles, your brothers, the trash collector, the grocery clerk, they all know. Bobbi's parenting TikTok journey spanned from 2021 to 2023, centered around 3 main themes in her content creation that would benefit and jeopardize her future career. 1, a longing for virality. 2, a dependence on dry yet clever humor to connect with her audience. Today, I thought it'd be fun to chat about our marriage. My husband sleeps on the couch, I sleep upstairs with the kids, caring for them all night, so I'm usually pretty exhausted. He's the one who handles the cleaning, and he does an incredible job at it. Alright, enough about our marriage. Could you run downstairs and grab me some coffee? Although Bobbi's mummy-themed videos weren't revolutionary, her regularity and refreshingly awkward character captivated viewers, leading her to amass over 3 million followers on TikTok. However, her success in the parenting space was short-lived, as she quickly aimed for something with broader, mainstream appeal. By April 2023, Bobbi launched the debut episode of the Really Good podcast, featuring Colleen Ballinger as a guest. So, you're wealthy, right? I'm here because you reached out to me. I am thrilled to be part of this. So, you got in touch with me? We don't need to delve into the specifics. I know you might feel a bit shy about it. And I'm also dealing with clinical depression. Same here, but I'm not on meds, okay? Different strokes for different folks. Yeah, you're going through it. Yep, you're rich, apparently. And according to the internet, you're somewhat amusing too. Let's not overdo the laughter. I'm sorry, we shouldn't joke about depression. I wasn't laughing at depression. Yes, you were. Excuse me, can we please stop that? So yeah, you're wealthy and apparently a bit amusing according to online chatter, but let's not get carried away. We shouldn't be laughing too much about it. Honestly, it's not funny to joke about depression. I wasn't joking about depression. Yeah, but it sure seemed that way. Can you cut that out, please? Are you actually serious? All those tears, and you post them online for views? I have to say, I disagree. You really want people to watch you cry? Is it so they can feel something for you? Like, I can't hate her, she has emotions? That sounds really manipulative to me. I mean, isn't it? Honestly, you should consider going back to school. Even though they took the interview down, it really showcased Bobbi's dry humor. Plus, it highlighted her unique knack for landing big-name celebrities on her podcast, which soon stirred up a ton of rumors. The skepticism surrounding her success was crystal clear, especially with Bobbi's interview with the comedian. Funny Marco's episode blew up, grabbing over 5 million views and spawning countless viral clips all over social media. So, you like tennis? No, not really. Why not? Ever tried playing? It's super tough, right? Tennis is definitely a relationship sport. Given that you're in a relationship, do you consider yourself a good partner? Nope. Oh, okay. Didn't see that coming. Things only got brighter for Bobbi as she capitalized on the buzz from her last interview to snag Drake for a next episode. Do you think I'm bad at rapping? I've never heard your stuff. What's your favorite? Huh? You've never even heard it? Any of your tracks? Okay. So, like, you've actually never listened to any of your own music? No, never. Not even a Drake song? Can you sing one? No. I'm just curious. Though, are you going to be one of those people who say, I've never heard of you before? Not that I'd be able to recognize, oh, that's Drake. Bobbi's bold way of interviewing Drake resonated with fans. I mean, it was wild to see such a big artist in such an awkward spot. That translated into the video hitting around 10 million views and gaining over 500,000 new subscribers. This caliber of an interview not only expanded Bobbi's audience, but also basically gave her a golden ticket to invite anyone in the industry onto her show. But not everything about the interview was a win for Bobbi. Sharp-eyed viewers picked up on Bobbi's flirty side, wanting more from her guests, even though she was married. Am I your type? I'd consider it. Thanks. Yeah, I could see that. Just the two of us, right? I know. I just felt like it. Don't lie to me, don't lie to the viewers, and please don't spill water on my couch. Add to that, Bobbi even skipped her daughter's birthday just to interview Drake, and that just worsens her image. You did. I genuinely appreciate this on my daughter's first birthday. I wasn't going to mention it. You skipped your daughter's first birthday to be here dark. A painful regret you can never reverse. Seriously, terrible parenting. Where's your son? Somewhere safe. And it's not his birthday. Even though the Drake interview pushed Bobbi forward in her career, it sadly set her back significantly in other important areas of her life. Around the same time, while Bobbi was nailing that once-in-a-lifetime interview with Drake, her husband was finalizing their divorce. At the very moment Bobbi was nailing a once-in-a-lifetime interview in Drake's bed, her husband was finalizing their divorce. According to a recent article, Bobbi Althoff initiated divorce proceedings back in February, citing irreconcilable differences as the reason for their split. Although there wasn't any animosity between them, it didn't stop people from speculating. Some wondered if Drake's recent interview might be connected, especially since rumors of a romantic link between them spread like wildfire, despite Bobbi insisting otherwise. However, questions lingered about how Bobbi managed to land the interview, and why she was signed to the same talent agency as Drake, particularly after her appearance on the BFF's podcast. During the podcast, Bobbi mentioned that she reached out to Drake after he engaged with her viral posts. So Drake liked one of my videos and followed me. I didn't catch it at first until Marco called and said, "Bobbi, check who just followed you." I filtered my followers to see only the verified ones, and I was shocked. I mean, why would he follow me? Then Marco reminded me he also liked my video, so I thought, okay, I'm going to take a shot at this. Honestly, I didn't think there was much chance he'd reply maybe 1%, and the odds of him saying yes felt closer to 0.000. I reached out asking when he could come on my podcast, and surprisingly, he replied, "Game on." He was up for it, and I flew out there just 3 days later. And just like that, I felt ready to chase anyone I wanted. Reaching out to Drake like that makes sense when you consider why a high-profile celebrity who rarely does interviews would suddenly agree to be on a podcast. But it still didn't clarify why Bobbi was signed to the same agency as him. I posted about it, and then I got a message from Andrew at WME saying, "I'm part of the touring team, can we chat?" I was like, sure. I honestly had no clue what I was doing at that point, but they signed me that evening. So you didn't even look into anyone else? You just went with the first person who reached out? I knew a lot about their reputation. I mean, Drake is with WME, and they're a big deal in the industry. Absolutely, they're major players, and I needed guidance fast. They came across as knowledgeable and ready to jump in. The very same day, I found myself with a team of 15. So you signed with them after connecting with Drake then? Exactly, they helped me secure that meeting. Yeah, William Moore signed me. It's frustrating that they're trying to claim credit for my hustle. I mean, I did all the groundwork myself, and now they're jumping in just because I got some help. Bobbi's decision to partner with WME after securing the interview with Drake suggests they saw her as a promising investment because of his interest in her. Additionally, the details of her meeting with Drake were under wraps until after she joined WME, indicating someone on the inside informed WME about the upcoming interview. It's unclear whether that source was Drake himself or another insider, but Bobbi's portrayal of it as mere coincidence feels disingenuous at the very least. And at worst, it seems intentionally misleading. Regardless, their connection didn't last long. On August 14th, 2023, Bobbi's dream interview was taken down, and they unfollowed each other on social media. Despite not addressing the sudden shift directly, Bobbi did post a video with a rather unimpressed expression at one of Drake's concerts, rekindling rumors about their relationship. It's unclear if the other person involved was Drake or not, but Bobbi's attempt to brush the entire situation off as mere coincidence feels pretty insincere at the least. At worst, it seems deliberately misleading. Regardless, their connection was short-lived. On August 14th, 2023, Bobbi's big interview got pulled, and they unfollowed each other on social media. Although Bobbi didn't directly comment on this sudden shift, she did post a video of her unimpressed face at one of Drake's concerts, adding more fuel to the fire of their quiet feud. Bobbi's closeness with someone sparked chatter about potential disagreements between them. To finally dispel the rumors, Bobbi decided to leak an unfiltered direct message to Dave Portnoy, claiming, "My girlfriend says you hooked up with Drake and are getting a divorce. I'm telling you, that's false." To which Bobbi responded, "I won't publicly comment on it. But off the record, you're correct, that's not true." Though Bobbi lost access to her most famous interview, she still possessed the interviewing flair that made her stand out and emphasized it in later podcast episodes. However, the results didn't align with Bobbi's expectations. You need some flavor. You're like a piece of plain chicken, just sitting there. You take it off the grill and then serve it. Come on, add some seasoning. I'm trying to get you in the game. You're lost in the sauce. You're not even shaking my hand. I'm getting you to 25 million. You feel me? Just a little spray. Have a great day. It's just a touch of seasoning, all right? You can head out now. This is my hotel. I paid for this place, so you can leave whenever you want. In earlier episodes, Bobbi held all the cards, making guests uneasy with her relaxed demeanor. But that wasn't the case during Offset's interview. Throughout their conversation, Offset matched Bobbi's nonchalant attitude and seized every chance to jab at her. "I'm an artist, okay? What about you?" "I interview people." "Why?" "Because I want to know them." "Why do you want to know me?" "I didn't. Your team reached out to mine. Let's keep it real. No need for fake modesty." "Uh-oh, you're capping. What was that? Are you trying to drop a track now?" "No. That's cap. You should think about making music. I honestly don't know how we started this interview." "Honestly, me neither. My team might have contacted yours. I'm not out to make you look bad." They had to explain who Bobbi was to me. I thought they meant Bobby Boucher, like from The Waterboy. "Because you like water, it kind of works. But I've never heard of Offset from there." "Yes, you have." "I have not. I looked you up on the way here and found something about you. I even had to check TikTok. Googling wasn't enough." Clips from their interview exploded on social media as viewers finally witnessed Bobbi facing her own medicine, full of comments like, "This was probably Bobbi's toughest interview, yet hilarious. The worst job by the interviewer, but the best from the guest." It was entertaining to watch Offset bother her deeply, just like she bothers everyone else. Definitely the happiest moment I've had in a while. Dude was tearing her apart the entire time, pretty evident that fans were fed up with Bobbi's interviewing ways, constantly putting guests down. After all, no one wants to see their beloved celebrity insulted for an hour straight. Sadly, what does being an industry plant mean to you? I guess I don't really understand. I think it refers to someone who, I'm not sure either. It sounds like the industry is somehow backing you, but I can't quite put my finger on it. I applied somewhere and they responded with, "So, when I think about an industry plant, I imagine someone who's connected within the industry, using those ties to get ahead, despite having little to no actual talent." That actually explains it better than what I thought. I used to think it was more like the industry swooping in and saying, "We choose you to be the next big star." Yeah, but I've got no connections, so I wish I had some. My life would probably be a lot smoother with them. Right? You might feel a little plant-like yourself. I mean, we do share the same manager, which is wild. It does feel somewhat plantish. You got here in just 5 minutes. It took me 2 decades to get to this point. Seriously. It's been a while. At this point, people started seeing Bobbi's personality less as a fun quirk and more as a shallow facade, desperately chasing viral moments while putting people off. You'd think that would be the peak of negativity aimed at Bobbi, but it wasn't even close. Then, on July 23, 2024, Funny Marco dropped a video called "Why Did Bobbi and I Cancel Our Tour?", which exposed a major fallout between him and Bobbi alongside a slew of creative clashes that made collaboration impossible. I've previously done stand-up and still engage in it, so I get the nuances of entertaining a live audience. It's completely different from what you get on social media. In real life, people crave energy and connection. I felt Bobbi was a bit stiff. You know what I mean? I kept saying, "Come on, let's really put some effort into this." I even hired scriptwriters because I wanted to develop a solid show. But Bobbi insisted, "That's not me. My style is more reserved." I was like, wow, this is a divergence. Sure, you can be that way in a podcast, but live performances demand something different. Bobbi's comedic approach didn't align with what she wanted to present in the show, which I can respect. It wasn't about me being upset, I just didn't see eye to eye on it. I can acknowledge that while feeling conflicted about it, Marco accepted there's nothing wrong with differing comedy styles, but realized their styles were incompatible, leading to cancelling the tour. He didn't want to provide fans an inferior experience by pushing through. Just so you're all aware, I opted out of the Bobbi tour because I envisioned a high-quality production. I want anyone spending any amount of money to walk away satisfied. I know pleasing every single person is impossible, but catering to the majority counts, right? Money doesn't drive me. I stand by that. Marco painted a clear picture of why the tour was unfeasible and why its cancellation was a necessary choice, but Bobbi didn't interpret it that way. Instead, Bobbi viewed Marco's constructive feedback as a personal attack and responded defensively. So, here's my take on what went down. Last year, we were gearing up for the tour, but I had to pull out at the last moment because I was going through a rough patch, just had surgery, and my husband left me. Regarding my decision, I chose to step back because I envisioned a full-fledged production. I want people to spend anywhere from $1 to $100 and genuinely feel satisfied. I get that you can't please everyone, but the majority's opinion matters, you know? I don't do anything purely for money. I stand by that. Marco was trying to clarify why the tour fell through and why cancelling was the best option for everyone. But Bobbi didn't see it that way. Instead, Bobbi interpreted this friendly feedback as a personal slight and responded in a rather aggressive manner. So here's my take on what went down. Last year, we were set to go on tour, but I pulled the plug at the last minute because my husband had just left me and I had recently undergone surgery. Last year, I was all set for the tour, but I pulled out at the last minute. My husband had just walked out on me, and I was recovering from surgery. I was super anxious heading into this because I wasn't ready at all, so I messaged Marco, apologizing, saying I felt really low. I seriously felt like ending it when he didn't respond, and then he unfollows me. I woke up from surgery to realize he had unfollowed me. To make matters worse, in the following weeks, he hopped on several podcasts, trashing my sense of humor. Just for clarity, the surgery Bobbi mentioned was cosmetic and not nearly as serious as she made it sound. Basically, I went to get a zit injected. I ended up getting Botox in my forehead, which is totally normal, I guess. The lines I had are gone, but here's where I really messed up. I got under eye fillers, making it look like I've got black eyes. Shifting back to her heated response video, Bobbi attempted to paint Marco as a villain while positioning herself as the victim. She claimed he was pushing her to perform during the tour, saying, "I'm doing my best, but he keeps telling me what to do." I remember thinking, Marco, I'm trying, but stepping out of my bubble is tough because I deal with social anxiety. It's crippling. This whole persona isn't just an act. I genuinely struggle with being socially awkward. It's embarrassing, and I wish I wasn't like this, but I embraced it and put my best foot forward on stage. During our last show, I tried to break out of my shell, had a few drinks, and felt it went smoothly. I really did give it my all. I told Marco, "I followed all your advice and felt good about it." He looked at me and said, "You crushed it. It was amazing." Then, a few weeks later, I learned he had cancelled the show. I was like, wait, what? Marco cancelled the tour? Why? They said they had no clue. I started calling him over and over, but he didn't pick up. I even congratulated him on the baby, but still, nothing. Yet, he was tagging me in a post of Taylor Swift dancing, saying, "That's Bobbi." So I thought, at least we're still okay.